Hey you, and welcome. In this video we will talk about CSS selectors. So let's dive right into it. We have our CSS linked externally using a link tag in HTML. So we have blog.html open, blog.css open, and the browser on the right hand side. We're good to go. What I want to do to show the selectors is change what we're targeting. So first selector we want to look at is the element selector, which is just the tag name itself. We have used this already. We have the div selector. That means every div in our HTML will be targeted, and then we will change the background color of that div to red. So that's what's happening right now. But what if I don't want to target div anymore? I want to target another element. Let's say, for example, the entire HTML body or the HTML page. In this case, that's what I've done. I've changed it to HTML and the entire background changes, not just the div itself, right? So that's how you do element selector. You can just put any element here, let's say p tag, and it will target all the p tags. I will take away the style that I had inline so we can see it better. That way only the p tags are being targeted, as we can see here. If I just want to target input tags, scroll down, you can see the input tags are being targeted. So that's how the element selector would work. I can also make it so that what if I want to work with another CSS, let's say an input tag will have red background, but also the p tags will have background color of red. That's looking good. That's fine. I do want to target that. However, there's a better way to do it where you can have multiple elements targeted and one CSS body provided. In order to do so, you just have to separate them using a comma and provide the different tag that you want to target. In this case, input tag and p tag both will have background color of red. If I remove this other style now, go ahead and save. It's still doing the same thing. However, we're using comma separated list of selectors, which is a much nicer syntax. Next, let's target all the elements and see how that works. I could replace my selectors with just an asterisk, and the asterisk will target every element in our HTML. That means everything will turn background color red. So it has the same effect as targeting HTML. However, this will work for almost every element. Usually you would use this kind of selector to provide animation styles to them. So you can say all the elements that are on my document, on my HTML, will have a animation time for 0.3 seconds or something like that. Next, let's take a look at class selector. A class selector is the most common type of selector you would use in CSS. I'll tell you why. So let's say I want to write a selector where the background red would mean that background color red would be provided to this element. So I'll name this dot bg-red. So what I've done right now, by putting the dot in the beginning, the period in the beginning, I have targeted a class. And CSS knows when you put a period in the beginning, you're looking for a class attribute on any of the elements. And if the element has this class named bg-red, I will provide it this style that you're providing me in the body. All right, so if I save this right now, nothing should happen because I'm not using the bg-red class anywhere. So now I can start using it. I can copy this name, and let's say the first div will have a class attribute bg-red. There we are. I've changed the color, but only the first one is changed. Let's also say that for the input, let's go further down. This full name label will have a class bg-red. There we go. So what the class would do is make your CSS body reusable. And you can provide this class to many elements. You can target them using class attribute rather than ID or element. And the benefit of that is you can even expand on it to say, yes, background color red. Let's say I also have a border class, border 1, and this would have a border black, solid, 1 pixel. And now I can use this class, save it. And I can use this class along with background red to say there will be a border. I could even say it's on its own. So anchor tag here will have a class, border 1, and we are providing the border up top here. Or for the images, we will provide a border, put a class, border 1, save, and you can see now that there is a border for this element. So class makes your CSS more reusable. The ID selector, which is very specific to one element only. So we have H1, I'll provide the ID of heading. Let's say this is just the heading, save. And I can target this by using hashtag heading and start my CSS body. So hashtag in the beginning means you're targeting an element by its ID. And I can just use that, say background, or not background. Let's just provide it a border just like this, save. And you can see that now I'm targeting the heading ID, which is only one element on your HTML document. So that's about it for our CSS simple selectors. These are just simple selectors. There's way more out there to select many complex items in your HTML. If you want to get some practice in, I would recommend this website called flukeout.github.io. A very good website, has interactive way to show how the selectors work in CSS and also explain that on the right hand side, which is great to get some practice in. I'll see you all in the next video.